Ali Khamenei, the billionaire supreme leader hiding in plain sight. He's not just Iran's supreme leader. He's the invisible hand behind one of the most feared and secretive regimes on earth. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, cloaked in religious authority, is far more than a spiritual guide. He's a billionaire power broker, a geopolitical puppet master, and the silent architect of Iran's vast surveillance state. While millions of Iranians battle poverty, inflation, and repression, Khamenei commands an empire soaked in oil money, gold reserves, offshore assets, and absolute control. His lifestyle is anything but modest: fleets of private jets, fortified palaces protected by elite guards, luxury cars worth more than entire villages, and a financial footprint that spans Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. Yet he remains elusive, rarely seen, never questioned, and untouchable, until now. Because the tides are turning. In 2025, with Donald Trump back in office, the tone has shifted dramatically. Open threats, assassinations of Iranian commanders, Israeli intelligence deep inside Tehran, the fortress around Khamenei is starting to fracture. And for the first time in decades, the supreme leader is on the defensive, retreating into bunkers, broadcasting from shadows, and dispatching envoys to negotiate his survival. But this is not just a story about one man. It's about power without accountability, religion used as armor, and a regime that built a $95 billion empire while selling the image of sacrifice and piety. So who is the man behind the black turban? What's the truth behind his iron grip on Iran, and how deep does his empire go? Let's uncover 8 shocking truths about Ali Khamenei, the billionaire ruler hiding in plain sight. And trust me, the final revelation might shatter everything you thought you knew about global power, corruption, and control. 1. The real ruler of Iran. On paper, Iran is a republic. Every 4 years, citizens head to the polls to elect a new president. But those elections are a performance, a carefully choreographed illusion of choice. The man who truly controls Iran has never once stood for public election. He answers to no parliament, no party, and no people. His name is Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Since 1989, Khamenei has ruled with unchecked power as Iran's supreme leader, a position that transcends law, politics, and even the constitution. He's not just a religious figurehead. He is the state. He commands the armed forces, controls the judiciary, oversees national intelligence, and dictates foreign policy. Every missile fired, every deal negotiated, every protest crushed, it all traces back to his authority. When President Ibrahim Raisi died suddenly in 2024, the global media scrambled to analyze who might fill the power vacuum. But the real question was never, who will lead? It was, what will Khamenei allow? Because in Iran, presidents come and go. Khamenei remains. Behind the scenes, he has quietly built a deep state of over 2,000 hand-selected operatives, clerics, generals, bureaucrats, and business elites, who sit atop every institution. They don't just enforce his will, they anticipate it. This vast network of loyalists ensures that not even the smallest policy move happens without his blessing. From the economy to education, from the press to the pulpit, he controls not just decisions, but the narrative itself. This is why many Iranians call him the Shadow, because while presidents make speeches, it's Khamenei who whispers the orders. His power is permanent. Under Iran's constitution, the supreme leader serves for life, accountable only to the Guardian Council, an institution he himself controls. Even in the face of mass protests, international sanctions, and growing youth rebellion, Khamenei remains untouchable. Presidents may bend to public pressure. Khamenei? He bends reality to his will. He is not merely a ruler. He is Iran's unchallenged monarch, wrapped in clerical robes, ruling behind a veil of divine authority, and backed by one of the most powerful and secretive intelligence states in the world. 2. From poverty to power. Ali Khamenei's rise to power is the stuff of legend, but not the glamorous kind. His story begins far from palaces or politics, in the dusty, devout city of Mashhad, nestled in northeastern Iran. Born on April 19, 1939, into a life of crippling poverty, Khamenei grew up in a cramped, one-room house barely 65 square meters in size. The home's basement was pitch dark, damp, and often flooded, a place not of comfort, but necessity. Dinner was a ritual of austerity: a handful of raisins, a piece of bread, sometimes tea if they were lucky. His father, Sayyid Javad Khamenei, was a low-ranking Shiite cleric, pious, respected in his small circle, but utterly poor. He taught religious values with the sternness of a man who had nothing to offer but discipline and faith. His mother, equally devout, held the family together with quiet endurance. From these humble beginnings, young Ali Khamenei began a lifelong pursuit of religious scholarship, memorizing scripture by oil lamp and walking miles just to attend classes at the local seminary. His early education was rooted not just in theology, but in revolutionary thought. By his teens, he was deeply influenced by the fiery sermons of Ayatollah Khamenei, who preached against Western imperialism, monarchy, and corruption. As he matured, Khamenei's ambition sharpened. He wasn't just learning religion, he was learning power. He spoke multiple languages, including Arabic and Azerbaijani, and became known as a gifted orator. By the 1960s, he was already under surveillance by the Shah's secret police, SAVAK, for spreading anti-monarchy rhetoric. His boldness led to multiple arrests, interrogations, and even exile, but each punishment only increased his stature among Iran's rising generation of revolutionary thinkers. Then came 1979, the turning point. The Shah was overthrown. Ayatollah Khomeini returned from exile. And the Islamic Republic was born from the ashes of monarchy. Khamenei, now a trusted student of Khomeini, was placed in key positions: head of military affairs, Friday prayer leader, and eventually president of Iran from 1981 to 1989. But that was just the beginning. When Khomeini died in 1989, many expected a grand Ayatollah to take his place. Khamenei, then considered a mid-ranking cleric without the scholarly credentials, was a surprise pick. But what he lacked in religious prestige, he made up for in loyalty, cunning, and political ruthlessness. His appointment as supreme leader wasn't just a theological elevation. It was a seizure of the most powerful seat in the country, giving him control over the armed forces, judiciary, foreign policy, and vast financial networks. In just a few decades, Ali Khamenei had gone from sleeping on the floor of a dark basement to sitting at the top of a multi-billion-dollar empire. But he never abandoned the image of simplicity. While he dressed in humble robes and quoted scripture, behind closed doors he was building a dynasty, layered with offshore assets, elite guards, private estates, and oil-rich influence. This is the paradox of Khamenei, a man raised on poverty and piety, who now rules through wealth, fear, and absolute control. His journey from scarcity to supremacy isn't just inspiring, it's terrifying. Because he didn't just survive the revolution. He became it. 3. A dictator disguised as a cleric. Khamenei is more than a religious figure. He is a political juggernaut. As supreme leader, he has the power to override the president, command the IRGC, shut down media, and silence dissent. He appoints judges, generals, intelligence officers, even Friday prayer leaders. Unlike presidents who come and go, Khamenei's rule is permanent. His decisions can plunge the Middle East into war or bring nuclear talks to a standstill. In many ways, the Iranian presidency is just political theater. The real director stands behind the curtain, and his name is Khamenei. 4. The ghost general. As threats grow, Khamenei has disappeared from public view. According to the Telegraph, he now resides in a fortified underground complex, surrounded by an elite secret unit unknown even to top commanders in the Iranian military. This force was created to protect him from Israel's Mossad, which has eliminated multiple Iranian scientists and officers in pinpoint operations. Insiders claim he avoids travel, no longer uses phones, and delivers public speeches via pre-recorded videos. His usual residence has been abandoned. The man who once declared he'd die for Islam is now protected like a nuclear code, always moving, always hidden. 5. Could Trump greenlight his assassination? In his first term, Trump vetoed a plan to assassinate Khamenei. But in 2025, he changed course. "We know exactly where he is," Trump stated ominously, adding, "We have no plans to target him, for now." Former Israeli security officials say that if a strike is ordered, it would be surgical. Drones, bunker busters, cyber infiltration, all are on the table. Khamenei avoids tech, but his advisors don't. Every encrypted message, every visit, every whisper can now be tracked. AI programs monitor behavioral patterns and locate him, even without GPS. This is not just political tension, it's assassination chess on a global scale. 6. A billionaire in disguise publicly, Khamenei earns less than $6,000 per month. But behind the scenes, he controls over $1.2 billion in wealth, thanks to complex networks of charitable foundations, shell corporations, and offshore accounts. He lives in a private compound on Palestine Street in Tehran, which features lavish gardens and security checkpoints, a vast underground library. He controls over $3 billion, including oil revenues and real estate across Iran and the Gulf. Masoud Khamenei, the tech czar, has more than $500 million stashed in European banks. He oversees Iran's telecom empire and censors the digital sphere. Masoud Khamenei, the youngest, manipulates domestic markets and holds vast liquid assets. Bashra and Hoda, his daughters, each control fortunes estimated at $100 million, operating luxury salons and private investment channels. Even Hassan Khamenei, an uncle, secretly owns a cut of Sony's revenue in Iran and controls broadcasting tech across the country. This isn't a family. It's a cartel. 8. Khamenei's last gamble. Insiders claim he's desperately trying to reopen secret talks with the US, using Qatar and Geneva as intermediaries. But Trump exposed it all, tweeting that Iran offered to visit the White House. That moment humiliated Khamenei, publicly and culturally. And in Persian politics, shame is deadlier than bullets. With Israel crippling command centers and Mossad crowdsourcing intel, the supreme leader is now isolated, paranoid, and bleeding support. His own advisors are defecting. Exiled royal Reza Pahlavi is gaining influence. Even Iran's youth, once too afraid, are now openly mocking the regime online. Khamenei's final strategy? Fake strength. Offer just enough concessions to buy time. Halt enrichment temporarily. Smile for the camera. Pray Trump claims a bloodless win and retreats. But beneath this illusion, Iran's ambitions haven't died. They've simply gone underground, hidden, paused, and waiting for the next opportunity. Ali Khamenei is the most powerful man you've never truly met. He rose from nothing to become the billionaire brain behind Iran's theocratic regime. He's outlasted wars, revolutions, sanctions, and assassinations. But today, he's a king in a cage, paranoid, invisible, clinging to survival with fear, propaganda, and luxury. So the final question is this: how long can a man fake strength before shame tears him apart? Right finger what shocked you the most about Ali Khamenei. Down finger drop a comment and join the conversation. Bell don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more eye-opening stories about the world's hidden power players. Thanks for watching.